Good morning, everybody, and welcome to ESO Daily. I am your host, Mr. Craven. All right, guys, so I'm not going to be on tomorrow due to my daughter being pregnant and she has an appointment. They might induce her labor. So, just a heads up, tomorrow's episode will not be aired due to that. I will try to get it on tomorrow afternoon, though, and do a later show. However, in today's episode, I will be covering the Sorcerer Healer. I love the Sorcerer Healer. Though the Sorcerer Healer doesn't have many class-based abilities to contribute to its healing role, it is the most powerful healer as far as direct heals go. It is insane. It is very flexible. The things that we're going to ask today, do's or don'ts, and we're going to be covering that with the Sorcerer Healer. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the skills, okay, and your options and things like that. Okay, so on Resto's side, you'll see energy orbs. So I prefer energy orbs over neurotic orbs every day of the week on the Sorcerer Healer. Why? Because it's another form of heal. Plus, it's going to offer that utility. Keep in mind that one of the only abilities that we have to heal with in far as class-based abilities is the Twilight Matriarch, which is going to take up 2 bars. So we have to outsource our other healing effects either through Resto or through non-class based abilities. So energy orbs is just a hot that's going to be very effective on the Sorcerer Healer, plus it offers that nice utility. In the Resto, it's pretty standard. So I use Healing Springs. I use the Combat Prayer. I always go to Combat Prayer with every healer. Why? It buffs. So it's very, very resourceful for any healer. Now, like I said, the one class-based ability that the Sorc has at its disposal is the Twilight Matriarch, which makes the Sorcerer Healer sometimes a pain because it takes 2 bars, but at the same time, it takes both bars to slot. However, it is huge, huge healing. Massive healing. Love this effect. Now, currently, up until Somerset, we're anticipating Inner Light on both bars. Why? We want to increase that Max Magicka. We do also get the Major Prophecy, but you can get Major Prophecy through drinking potions. But once again, that Max Magicka does come in handy, and I like it. You also, it might change for me due to the bound ages changes coming up with Somerset. But keep that in mind. This is conditional just based on what we know already. Of course, we're going to be using the Aggressive Warhorn. It's pretty standard on most healers. Why? We want to buff our DPS's damage. Really, really nice. Okay, so I also use the Elemental Drain, right? You can go, and I've covered this every episode. You can go with the Force Siphon and get its morph. If you get the morph, you'll get the Magic Steel. Now, Force Siphon applies minor lifesteal. That's a hot. However, it's very time costing. And it's not very effective when you're looking at very tense, mechanics. That's the only thing. That's the only reason I don't use Force Siphon. It is there, and the morph does apply the minor magic steel. It's just very time consuming, so I'm going with the Elemental Drain. Now, I use Elemental Drain on pretty much every healer if it's needed, except Templar. Templar is the only exception to that rule because why? I use Radiant Aura. Okay, so you'll see crystal frags on this bar. Now, a lot of people are going to be asked, can I use the Wall of Elements because it's the lightning staff? Well, yes, you can for the off balance. But there's a very important reason why I'm putting the crystal frags on here, right? Once again, every class offers an innate active ability that will buff your party members. So when I come down to exploitation, casting a dark magic ability grants minor prophecy to you and your group, increasing your spell critical. So that increases their chance to crit, the magic users to increase their chance to crit without what? Suffering from allegation of diminishing return. So it really comes in handy, though you don't have to use Crystal Frag. If you want a CC effect, you can use something like Encase. Though keep in mind that bosses are going to be immune to it, but it will still activate the passive nonetheless. Plus, when you're in mob situations, it's a really nice ability to CC. Also, you can use something like, Dark Exchange. Rude Prison's not very effective, and as of now, Daedric Mines isn't. I don't know if that'll change, but I usually prefer the Crystal Frags, proc it up, throw an extra damage out there. Now, I can't, like I said, if you wanted to, you could put the wall for the off balance. However, you won't activate this passive. But guess what? The ultimate does, and that's the absorption field. So you'll see as my ultimate slot, I have absorption field slotted. This is a very powerful ultimate for the Sorcerer Healer because it applies a stun effect, and also it heals you and your allies every 0.5 seconds for 12 seconds. That is really, really good, especially with the Sorcerer Healer. Now, if you weren't worried about exploitation, you can use the Wall of Elements, or even better yet, you can offer another synergy and go with something like the Lightning Splash or Liquid Lightning or whatever to allow another synergy to proc, and you can also apply Minor Vulnerability with this status effect. So that's also another option. And sometimes I'll just do that if I'm not worried about it. So I'll just go ahead and say, oh, I'll go ahead and I'll put on Lightning Flood, or, and just slot it right there. And I don't care about the extra crit damage or applying the extra crit to the party. Optional. I can also put the wall, or if I need a cleanse, because remember, there are certain dungeons that you might need a cleanse. I can go with the Restoration Staff, and I can go with the Mutagen for a single target and apply that over here, go back into my Undaunted skill line, and then I can place my orbs on this bar. So I can go with something like that. Or if I need another shielding system, then I can go back into Resto. Say if I want to go with a mitigation, then I can use something like Healing Ward, or I can put Purify right there, or Purify over here. So there's a lot of options when it comes to switching out rotations. One of the other abilities I'm always also using is the Empowering Ward. Now, Empowering Ward will shield me and my pet. It's very important that your Twilight doesn't die, because if your Twilight dies, that's one of your healing effects going down the toilet. Why I choose Empowering Ward over Hardening Ward is very simple. I'm offering a utility to my party by applying the Minor Intellect. That's going to increase their magic recovery by 10%. So I want to go ahead and take advantage of the Empowering Ward as a healer or a support role. So once again, I really like it. Comes in handy. Okay, so that's pretty much kind of the standard type of configurations, but also keep in mind with Sorcerer Healer, what really makes them amazing, especially in trial scenarios, is this passive right here, Power Stone. I reduced the cost of my ultimate's ability by 15%. That has a faster uptime on my Warhorn rotation. Also keep in mind, there are a lot of players, and I have ran it, is you can use the ultimate Panseira and take its morph. It's really powerful, and if you don't have a Warhorn, really great ultimate for healers. Any healer uses this, it's really good. I really like that ultimate. So pretty much this is how it rolls. I'm going to check out some comments real quick. We'll do a daily or two, and I'll show you how the Sorcerer Healer behaves in dungeon. Now once again, the event's going on, so I don't need gear, and I'm just going to do normals, just kind of go through it. Okay, let me go ahead, pop in here. And I'm just going to do normal. Okay, let me check this out. Scott, morning, dude. Hey, Mystic, with the changes coming to 2H weapons, do you think you can make a video spotlighting monster set options? Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. I was planning on getting into that probably next week or so, or at least the beginning of Phase 2, when Phase 2 launches. Really looking forward to getting into that. So let's just make sure I don't have any of the old dailies really quick, which I don't think I do. Great. Excuse me. But, food-wise, because you have a pet, you can use max food, and you're usually fine. If you need a little bit more regen, you can use something like Witch Mothers. As long as you know mechanics and you don't need that extra health, it really comes in handy. I don't know who that is. I always try to stay safe. If I know who you are, group. Let me check this out. Morning, Robert. I hope you're having a good day at work, brother. So let me go ahead. ICP. Now, sets. Let's go over sets really quick before I cue this up. What sets can you use on the Sorc Healer? Okay. You can use a multitude of sets on the Sorc Healer. One of the sets that I really like using on top of Spell Power Cure is the Healer's Habit set. The one thing I don't have is a passive that, you know, a class passive that amplifies my healing, right? Like Templars or Nightblades or Wardens. So the one thing I want to do is maybe take advantage of a set like this. You don't have to, but the reason I do is because I get the Minor Mending at all times, right? So that gives me my base healing, the increase of 8%, which the Templar already gets for activation. So I got to keep in mind when I'm looking at sets, what does one class have that another class doesn't? And that's how I build. Now, I will say that you can use Worm, you can use Sanctuary, even though Sanctuary feels like a little overkill in certain scenarios. I like it on my DK, Sorc, and other healers, not so much. You can use Twilight's Remedy. So if you were to put your Lightning, Liquid Lightning, on the back bar and you wanted to activate a Twilight Remedy back bar proc, you can do that, and it comes in really, really nice. Also, if you were to do that, you can also use monster sets without compromising your Spell Power Cure. So, and especially with the updates, I'll be going over those type of configurations. Really good. You can also use a Mending set. You can use pretty much every standard healing set on the Sorc Healer. Once again, if I'm not in a trial scenario, I really prefer the Habit set. Habit set is really great, and I enjoy it because it gives me all my base stats. It gives me a recovery. It gives me spell damage. Really, really nice overall set. So I do enjoy this set tremendously, and yeah. Then everything else for champion points, I pretty much spec everything to standard healer setup. So I make sure my Elfborn's at 1208. My healing's at 14. I keep Elemental Expert at 707, depending on what I'm doing. Spell penetration is very important. And then, of course, I jump up the Staff Expert, right? Especially with upcoming Summer set. Staff Expert's going to be very important, guys. I was testing that yesterday. Oh, my God. I'm telling you guys. Staff Expert with upcoming changes, very, very powerful. Very powerful. Master at Arms, I keep at 904, and then I keep a little bit in Thaumaturge. Why? Because if I use the Liquid Lightning, the damage is applied there. So I have that scaling system already if I'm going to use Wall of Elements or if I'm going to use Liquid Lightning, depending on the circumstance. So comes in really, really nice. So we got some dailies here. I know ICP was one of them. Fungal, City of Ash 1, Spindle Clutch 1. Those are so easy, I will queue those vets. Though a lot of people will be under on Spindle Clutch 1. Don't know why, but they do. City of Ash. And then we'll queue just normal ICP. Don't really need anything out of there, but yeah, I love the Sorc Healer. A lot of things I don't want to do. Now let's talk about what I don't want to do. Once again, I don't want to compromise my healing or my role as a healer to lay out DPS. Okay? Anytime you're taking on the role as a healer, no matter what class, you never want to compromise the role. Right? So a lot of times, a lot of healers kind of get like the thought of putting damaging abilities on and not focusing on their main objective, and that's healing. Now, as a healer, the main thing I want to do is offer heals, support, utility. That's my role as a healer. So I want to take advantage of that. Now, if I can slot one or two damaging effects that can either activate passives or increase without compromising healing functionality, then that's something that works. 1 second. Telemarketers, I'm telling you. But yeah, it's just definitely the way I play the roles. I always stay dedicated to the roles. Yo, David, morning, what's up? It was good playing with you, man. Yeah, I like the Healer's Habit set. I feel it's underused. Yeah, a lot of people don't use Healer's Habit a lot. A lot of people, and for anybody who want to know where you get Healer's Habit, you can get blue in Dragon Star Arena, or if you want the purple sets, you can go to Vet DSA, and they'll drop purple jewelry and stuff. So really, really nice. And plus, it's tradable and sellable. So I really like the set. I love it on Sorc Healers. It's just anytime I grab a Sorc Healer, I make a Sorc Healer, I grab Healer's Habit. It's the first thing I grab. It's the first set I will grab for a Sorc Healer. Why? Because I know I'm not getting that minor mending. Right? I know that. And a lot of people are like, well, what makes the Sorc Healer so powerful over the Templar? Well, the main thing about it is the passives. Right? So when I go down to, I think it's Expert Summoner. No. Expert Mage. I increase my spell damage by 2% for each sorcery ability slotted. Now, I try to keep usually 2 Sorc abilities slotted within my setup. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but that really, really amplifies my spell damage. My spell damage increases, so does my healing effects. So, comes in handy. Now, I will use the Healing Ward in this dungeon. I'll just keep with this configuration due to the last boss. It gives a nice cushion. If I was in the other one, I could switch out. We'll reapply the food buff. A little low in pots.
On your feet, you louts. We're going back in.
You know, it's funny, guys, because I see a lot of these players making some of these meta builds, and a funny thing about it is they won't play them. I'm like, if you're going to make it, at least play it. Like I said, I will always throw out utilities. I never want to compromise the role. Want to keep those buffs up. Hit that shield. Cool. All right. There we go. Remember, since I have the minor mending, when I do a heavy attack, I'm getting that major mending. That major mending stacks on top. And once again, I mean, I guess, you know, I know I'm kind of known for healing. Even though I do a lot of other content, I do tanks, I do DPS. It always, for me, it always comes back down to my healing because I've been doing it before. A lot of them did it. I think these are both stam users. No, I got a magic user. That's right. Okay, I'm gonna wait a couple seconds, then I'm gonna blow mine. Okay, now. Now races for sword healers. You can go, I'm high elf, but you can go with Argonian and Breton. Those are really two strong alternative options for sword healers. It's all about preference from that perspective.
Kill them all. No mercy.
By the whisperer's command.
All around. This pleases me.
Unhurt!
Now usually in a big pull like this, I will drop this. It's going to heal, it's going to stun, offer the CC, really nice. Yeah, I always say, if you're going to build it, at least play it. There's a chest. I don't need anything, though. Once again, large pull. We'll just hold them here. Got ran over. Okay.
You need to take her from us.
Healer!
Burn it!
Heal me!
Okay. I'll drop the silence right here.
Closer, come closer. Embrace the darkness.
Now remember, you can weave up heavy between your rotation because that splash damage is going to hit everybody. You're not going to hit as hard as a typical DPS, but some damage does help.
Corruptible creatures, you dare to defy me? I'll kill you all.
Should be fine, I'm thinking. They're a little low. But dude's got should have a shield, whatever.
Heal me!
Okay, I want to keep my shield up just in case she comes spitting my way. Now I'm going to shield him. That's why the healing ward comes in handy. Okay, I'm going to roll out. Oh, shit. Shield him. Hit that nice burst. Weave up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Shield him and get that big heal. Okay, when somebody drops, sometimes people don't know mechanics. Can't res that dude. Dude, I resed ya. Must have hit the wrong button. Something tells me hit the wrong button. Alright. Keep doing your thing, tank. This is why DPS should res, not healers. No way! No way! No way, man. Resurrection pending. What the hell, dude? Get your ass up, bruh. These... Dude, he's got a resurrection pending. Don't know why there's a 1 something in here. A little overzealous, maybe? I don't know what's up with the one dude. I don't know. It's pug life. You think he rage quit after just dying? Jeez. No fucking way! Why are you fucking serious? Shut up. What a bullshit mechanic. They got caught on a stun and a fucking whatever. Go take go. Bitch is rude. He's dead. That friggin' DPS, man. What happened? Like, what happened? Come on, y'all. And he's a 720. God. Grow up, bro. Thank you. Jeez. Crazy. All right. Yo, Joshua, what's up, dude? Papa! Cool, I'll keep an eye out for them. $54 boxes a day? Damn! Like the look of it, yeah. I love the event. Like, it's really cool. I'm enjoying the event. I got, I think, 3 more pieces of Worm Cult to get. The shoulders and 2 weapons or something. The maces and I think the staffs. Like, simple shit. Simple shit. I don't know why this DPS is in here, though. And vet. I can't stand non-160s queuing a vet. Like, the gear's not going to do you any good. Like, I'd rather max level normals out, get my CP, and then focus in on my vet dungeons. That's how I roll. And then I do my vet DLCs at 300. So it's like normal, I go normal all the way up to 160. Do vet non-DLCs up to 300. Then focus vet DLCs 300 up. That's how I roll. I mean, I'll roll with them. If I can get the scroll done, whatever. The girlfriend and I have plans this weekend, so need to see how my time's going. Vet DSA. Yeah, dude, I definitely got to get into Vet DSA. Actually, I was talking to my real life dude yesterday. So we got plans once I hit up after my 300 for a lot of things. We're going to be doing a lot of things after my 3s. What do we got? What do we pick up? Oh, okay, cool. Probably Stam Dragonite. Oh, no, Sork. Mag Sork. My bad. we were doing really good. You know, this dude's got the necropotence on. Now, I always stay kind of spread out from people. This way I know when it's like directing its spit at me. Once again, I'm just going to shield and throw the big heal. Shield, throw the big heal. Shield for the big heal. Gonna give myself a little breathing room with this dude. Wouldn't normally hit the war horn, but there we go. Wasn't that hard. And we got that guy through that one something through a friggin' hard mode. It's all good. It's all good. I'm still calling bullshit on that one mechanic though, but whatever. Whatever. Alright, did you guys see the new fish scale skin? No, I haven't checked that out yet. Or the new shadow skin. The shadow skin looks like the ebony. Yeah, I did see the shadow. Mystic can use healing bubbles on Sorc Healer, the ultimate from Dark Magic, in the energy orbs, good or no? Yeah, like, I like the healing orbs. That's the one I prefer. And then I use, for the ultimate, I use the healing bubble. Right. Those are really good. So, and there's different setups and configurations you can run with the Sorc. So, to me, works out really nice. Really does. You guys were doing good, then someone tried to heal with no breath of life. I don't have breath of life. And the tank's not running Alkosh. No. We can't do that. We can't be like that. It was a good run. It's a good run. Actually, that was a really good pug run. Given the fact that the guy was on the 160, yeah, I mean, I feel confident about that run. That was a good run. It was a good, solid run. I don't know, if I would have, like, taken that dude I would definitely want to take him in a vet DLC. That's for sure. But, it was a good run. It was a good, solid run. For sure, for sure. So, yeah. The sword killer, like I said, once again, the sword killer, really, really powerful. A lot of options. You can use support sets like Worm. You can use Mending. You can use. I use Spell Power Cure all the time, but just because, like, it's not the most powerful towards healing. Okay, it's not. It just offers the utility that everybody anticipates. And until Zos offers maybe something that is of equal value, it's going to be a lot of it's going to be hard for any healer build not to go without Spell Power Cure, or they adjust it to make it apply to up to 12 people. If they were to do that too, that would give flexibility to secondary healing, and specify, hey, this can be the buff can be applied up to 12 players. That'd be a whole different ball game then. That whole effect for Spell Power Cure would be changed, and then you'd see your secondary healers running maybe different sets. But until that happens, it's just every healer is going to be locked into a Spell Power Cure this, or Spell Power Cure that, or Spell Power Cure this. But if anybody asks, can I put Wall of Elements on the sword? Yes. Would I still use a charge trait? No. No and no. Nirnhone is the baby to go with. Why? It increases my healing. It increases my damage. If I'm not using stuff, I want to keep my healing effects high. Why? Because just the prime example there. If I had a charge trait on my Destro versus a powered or Nirnhone, guess what that dude would have been doing? I would have had to cast twice, maybe, versus one. That is something I cannot allow to deviate from, is my primary role. So if anybody asks me, do you have a charge trait? And I'd be like, tell you what, why don't I just leave? Because I'm not willing to compromise my functionality for people's whatever. And on the average group, you want to anticipate the worst case scenario. Just the way it is. So that's what I say. Could I do it? Yeah, but I'm not going to run charge trait. Can I run unstable wall in this type of configuration? Of course you can. But, it's once again, if I'm in a 4-man, I might want to go ahead and take a dark magic ability besides my ultimate. Why? Just to give them another minor prophecy. That's if there's not a mag sork in. So say if I have a mag DK and a magplar in my group. This, using one of these abilities to give them that boost would be a benefit, right? So something like that. Also keep in mind, certain dungeons you need cleanses. You can go with purification, or you can go with a mutagen for a cleanse. Sometimes cleanses, most of the time you can out heal a lot of dot effects, but if you need to cleanse anything, mutagen or purification is going to go in that optional slot, right? So where healing ward would be right now. Okay, and then you can readjust a couple of things. So there are a lot of do's. But there are one thing I don't want to do as a sword healer. A lot of people, I see people throwing like a 1-bar heal and 1-bar all DPS, and they're fine until they get to a real hectic boss encounter, and then things go to shit. Why? Because they have next to no utilities offering for their party members. They don't have nearly enough heals because they're only banking on 2 heals. That's the Twilight Matriarch and the Combat Prayer, and it becomes really, really bad. It becomes bad because they're only banking on 2 heals. They're not keeping consistency. They're not using the orbs for the utilities. It becomes really nasty really quick. Light Speakers is a good set. Light Speakers is a badass set. I would love to make a build with Light Speakers. Problem of it is, everybody would flog you. Because, oh my god, it doesn't have like a support set or this or that. But Light Speakers is a badass set. It's a killer set. Prayer Shawl is a good set, but I love Light Speakers. Laugh Out Loud, my healers uses Combat Prayer and Lightning something or Prayer set. Right. No, definitely. Combat Prayer is a great set. Those are all good sets. Hey man, good seeing you in a dungeon. I watch your channel. That was my second time tanking. I hope I did decent. Dude, you did awesome. Did awesome. Thank you. Love it. I do get a, you know, I don't have as many haters as some people would like to think. I am really well known on a lot of platforms, so it's kind of nice. I always get asked, you know, if I'm that dude, and yeah, but I'm not necessarily the most popular by a lot of players, but I am very well known, and most players will not like question it if I'm in, you know, anything. They would be like, okay, Mystic's here. I have yet to someone say, be like, oh, what the fuck's he doing here? He sucks. No, they don't say that. So nobody says that. Everybody's like, okay, cool. Even if they hate me, they're like, oh yeah, we can roll with Mystic. Okay, whatever. So whatever. But yeah, no, I love the people like this tank here. Mad, he did really awesome. Matarar did awesome. Awesome tanking job. Dude was slick. He did great. He did a really good job. And I love bumping into players like that who show support and love. And because I you know, I'm a friendly person too. I can be an asshole, but I'm also friendly. And I got to play with you guys last night, a couple of you on Xbox. It was really fun. I know Sorks are inferior BOL meta. That's a good one, David. That was a good one, brother. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm going to call it Sword Keelers. So Sword Keelers, very powerful, very limited in class-based abilities, right? But once again, you know, I'm going to use that Empowering Ward versus Hardening. Why? It's going to offer utility. I'm going to use the Twilight Matriarch. That's a given. I like Absorption Field. If you want to use another ultimate, you can, but keep in mind that activation also applies to the Dark Magic passive. Very good. Has the CC, has the healing effect. Once again, the Resto Staff ultimate is really good if you don't have Warhorn, because, you know, it applies that nice buff. Really good. It's really strong. Really like it. I always stay with these two abilities no matter what, and then I'll switch out either Healing Ward for, you know, a cleanse, an ability from the Sorc tree. I can do a lot of different things. So as you guys can see, you know, I have two Sorc abilities here. I can go ahead and put my frag right here. Now that amplifies my combat prayer. So I'm looking at 6-4-4-2, and then if I take it off and I put this back on, and then I go in here and I go back, now it drops. So I get almost an additional 100 for slotting another sorcerer ability, right? Because spell damage, you know, affects your abilities. So not just magicka, but spell damage too. So heads up. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I want to thank everybody for watching today. If anybody has any questions or comments about Sword Keelers, please post below. Once again and always, thank every one of you. Thank you. I would not be continuing to do this if it wasn't for all my followers and the people who support me every day. Thank you, man. It's a blessing, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Much love. All right, I'm Mr. Craven, the CSO Daily. As always, have a nice day.